Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you wherever you are around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right here in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, you are highly welcome. It is another beautiful day again, Tuesday morning. And what is happening around our club? Chelsea Football Club. Well, let's delve into it right away. Mikel Obi speaking again. Mikel Obi speaking again. Yes, Mikel speaking. But you see, let me tell you something. Before I go any further, let me just say, Mikel has every right to speak his mind. And I really appreciate him for that. As a matter of fact, he makes a lot of good points in the latest episode on Obi-Wan podcast. The latest episode that he did, is it yesterday or the day before yesterday? He was spot on many issues. And for those of you who have been on this platform for a while now, it was not really as if I don't want Mikel to speak about Chelsea players. After all, he's an ex-player. No. Not that I don't want him to speak about the negatives that are happening around our club. But what I was against is he was more of attacking Jackson at that time. It was more like a direct attack on the person of Nicola Jackson, which I didn't like. But the latest episode, speaking about the entire club, I appreciate some of the points that he raised. And he said, I understand my former colleagues don't want to say it, but I'm coming out and saying it. We need a top keeper and a top striker to win the league. Perfectly so. 100%, I agree with him. Robert isn't that guy. And Nicholas isn't that guy. I agree with him. You see, he is not directly attacking the players. This is criticism, and we must learn to accept that. Now, for me, from the very onset, I knew that Robert Sanchez is not a goalkeeper that can take us there. When Chelsea was winning leagues, we know the caliber of goalkeepers we had. And when Chelsea was winning leagues, we know the caliber of strikers that Chelsea had then. We know. And meanwhile, Jackson was not bought as our first choice. He was bought to be a backup. Let me repeat that again. Jackson was not bought as a first choice striker for Chelsea. He was meant to be the backup. Unfortunately, our sporting directors could not succeed in getting the striker, the main striker. Even last season, you are aware, when they tried to get Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. Yes. That should tell you that Jackson wasn't meant to be the main man. But he's the one that we have right now. What do? We just need to encourage him. And I believe he is still progressing. Jackson is still progressing, and I know he will get there. But right now, we need someone that can compete with Jackson in that position. Nicola Jackson needs a competition right now in that position. Dear friend, we are in the transfer market, and let me say once again, I appreciate Mikel Obi for the latest episode. He spoke a lot. He even went to the extent of giving his all-time Chelsea 11. He gave his all-time Chelsea 11, and many people were like, oh, why did he take out this person? Why Makelele not there? Why Kante not there? And most of you are always talking about Kante, comparing Kante to Makelele, who are saying that most people think, Kante should be there, not Makelele. Dear friends, if you have not watched Makelele play, don't compare Makelele with Kante. Kante is an excellent midfielder. He's all round in that midfield dominance. As small as he is. But look, have you ever heard when they talk, coaches talk about Makelele, how do you call it? Dominance in midfield? If you were to watch Makelele then you will know what Mikel Obi was talking about. Mikel chose Makelele over Kante, and there is a reason. Makelele was a dominant player in midfield, physically strong. Kante is good. Kante is equally good. But if you want to put them, and look, anyway, it is his choice. And I agree with him perfectly on on some of the selections. I also did not agree on some of the selections. For instance, he chose Joko, and I think Joko, for me, he's not the one to play that right flank for me. I would have preferred even Zola. Yes, I would have preferred Zola, who is a legend. I mean, we all know him. One of the oldest, legends we have right now available. But that is for another discussion in another day. Dear friend, quickly, some transfer news. Unfortunately, it looks like our owners and our sporting directors we are not getting any information from our transfer front. As Chelsea going for Sesko, Chelsea's going for Liam Delap, Chelsea going for Victor Osimhen as a striker and a goalkeeper. We seems to be quiet. Our sporting director seems to be quiet. The only news that is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, it's about Chelsea players that are being sold. Currently, as we speak, Aston Villa, one of the several clubs exploring Joao Felix. Yes. Aston Villa are one of the several clubs exploring Joao Felix, according to Fabrice Hawkins. Chelsea are willing to let go Joao Felix as well. And they are open for offers. Chelsea are open for offers for Joao Felix, as reported last week. Villa have already agreed terms with Axel Disasi as well. They can only loan one of Disasi or Felix. That means that they must buy one and loan one. They must buy one and loan one. But that is where... Now, let me give you the players that are going to be, right now as we speak, this week. The next 3 days, Chelsea is to let go almost our 6 players that are in the transfer market. Joao Felix, right? Asel Disasi, 2. Christopher Nkuku, 3. Kanechukwu Emeka, 4. Renato Viega, 5. So already that is 5. I think that I'm forgetting 2 more or 1. Now, the question is, why did Chelsea buy all these players in the first place? These are all new players. These are players that we gave 7 years contract. 7 years. Why did we go in for Renato Viega? Why did we pay such a huge amount of money for Disasi? Joao Felix. Why? Even it even is like, why did Chelsea go in for Joao Felix? Was it just because we want Atletico to buy Conor Gallagher? All Chelsea did was to make sure they were able to ship Gallagher out of this, the club. And so it was more like, oh, and hey, it was even Samu Omorodion, the striker that Chelsea wanted initially as a swap deal with Conor Gallagher. Then that deal failed. All of a sudden, they say Joao Felix. The same player that last season we said we didn't want. This season, because we want to let go Conor Gallagher. And what crime Gallagher committed, I don't know. Right now, our midfield is leaking and we need a player like Gallagher. Oh, do you think if Gallagher was to be in this current squad, for me, it would be an upgrade. Gallagher in this squad would have been an upgrade on the squad because he possessed different kind of ability. Gallagher possessed different kind of ability. We ship him out. We brought in Joao Felix. 5 months down the lane, we are looking for a way to ship him out. It is time, Chelsea, we move on to the street. Yes, there has to be a serious protest about these owners. Chelsea are open to different options and formulas. As it stands, Disasi, who has other suitors including Wolves, is currently a separate topic to Felix, according to the report from Fabrice Hawkins. Yeah. With loans seen as likely and the player keen on the move, all the players are keen to move. Disasi is keen to move. Renato Viega is keen to move. Oh, Christopher Nkuku is keen to move. Why? Is it a coach that they are beginning to dislike, or the club is not giving them what they want? Now, this is why I reckon we brought in Felix. We brought in Felix just to ship off Gallagher. Joao Felix. We brought him in just to ship on Gallagher. At first, it seems great to get a player like Joao Felix. To all of us, we are like, yes, Felix, we know him. We know him as the number 10 area. We know him as a backup for Cole Palmer, yes. But since he's not even being used, it brings a lot of questions in our mind. It becomes increasingly clear to me why he's out of Chelsea so soon. This recruitment strategy by this sporting director is a joke. It is a joke. We can no longer recognize our club. Disasi to Aston Villa. The next 2-3 days, we need to keep our eyes on that. Rio Ferdinand says something which struck my mind. And we need to put that in comparison to our own striker Jackson. Rio Ferdinand said, he said, I feel like because Hojlund was 70 million pounds, we are expecting the finished article. Who is Hojlund? Manchester United striker that was bought this summer. Yeah. Hojlund. He was bought 70 million pounds and Jackson was bought 34 million. Half of that. Right? He said because Hojlund was bought 70 million. Now, how many goals, in fact, last season, how many goals did Hojlund score so far? This season, how many goals did he score? What about last season? He said, unfortunately, he's not. Though they were expecting him to be a finished product because he was bought 70 million. Unfortunately, he is not a finished product. He is 20, 21, still growing. He is a young striker. But normally, a striker of that age comes in and learns of someone. A striker of that age comes in and learns from others. He's got nobody to learn from. Sounds like the same problem we have with Jackson. So some of us, we need to calm down a little. We need someone Jackson can learn from. And in this current squad, apart from the striking problems we have, there is nobody in any of the departments. You go to the defense, Levi Cowell is still young. Levi Cowell is still 21. At his age, he's supposed to be learning from Thiago Silva. When Thiago Silva came in, Thiago Silva is who is the one that made defenders like Rodiger. He's the one that made defenders like Rodiger, develop so fast. Because Thiago Silva had the experience. So those other defenders that came in, they saw him like their senior, player. Levi is still 21, now going to 22. All of them there, how old are they in our defense? They needed someone they can look up to that can command them from behind. Reece James himself is unstable. He comes today, the next day he's off. He can't play 56 minutes, 60 minutes, he's taken off. And that is our keeper, our captain. He is our captain. And that is the reason why he can even say that, we've been together for just 1 year. Inexperience, lack of experience, they've not met, there's nobody in the club that can chase and say, no, we must win. No, this is unacceptable in this club. Because they are all immature. Like I was saying, about 6 players are leaving the club. How does everyone seems to get these young players that need experienced players to learn from? How does everyone get on these young players that need experienced players to learn from? We seems to forget. We talk and we don't really remember that this player needs someone in that squad to learn from. Thiago Silva, if you guys can remember, he made sure both Rudiger and Christensen, they developed to that level that they are today. Unfortunately, none of them are in the club right now. Well, according to Matt Law, Chelsea are looking at a winger or a number 9 for now to set up a deal for the summer. So it's very likely we might not even get our number 9 this next 3 days. Chelsea are looking at a winger or a number 9 to set up a deal for the summer. It is what it is. But let me remind you again, Disasi to Aston Villa. Yeah, negotiation between Aston Villa and Chelsea for Axel Disasi for loan move. Yes, with loan fee plus salary coverage. Disasi said yes to Aston Villa and he's not considering other options despite Italian and Premier League clubs link up. He wants Villa, as exclusively revealed by Fabrizio Romano. Dear friend, Nkuku currently has 2 opportunities. Bayern and Manchester United. For Bayern, Matthias Tel still doesn't give the green light yet to leave. Matthias Tel has still not given a green light yet. Nkuku doesn't want a dry loan to Manchester United either. So, in the next 3 days, let's watch out. A lot is still unfolding, and I will be careful to bring every update. Remember, our next game next weekend is going to be against West Ham. And currently, as we speak, a lot is happening at Cobham. Kane Chukwuemeka's name was discussed during direct talks between Juventus and Chelsea for Renato Viega. He still wants to watch for the final days of the window, with several clubs keen on signing Kane. So you remember I told from the beginning that there were about 6 players. Yes, Kane Chukwuemeka is the 6th player on the list. We should be watching out for him leaving Chelsea this transfer window. He's been discussed between Juventus and Chelsea, who was talking about Renato Viega's move. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your breakfast. And I'll be back with more exclusive. This has been your servant on this channel, Salon's Blog. See when you see me. Shalom and peace.